Thank you. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much. This is awesome. Gosh. You know, I feel blessed by God to be standing here today because I remember 13 years ago, I was sitting on the left side, front row, and listening to all of my heroes of the Alliance, you know, Davies, Fitz, the Leventoviches, you know, everybody, Avian, and now I get to share this stage with these guys. So thank you. This is amazing. But you know, this wouldn't happen, and it's happened to me a couple times that I'm driving home late at night after showing the plan or after running business, and I could just think, because 13 years ago, I was listening to Andy's story and how he was driving in the middle of the night after showing the plan. And I could tell you, many of those times, you feel fear, you feel a little, you know, uncertainty, and you go, is this gonna work? You know, and I could imagine him, you know, just trying to build his business by himself in the beginning, and Jane back home, you know, before they had staff or anybody else, and doing all the things that she needed to do behind the scenes to make sure that everything was working. And here we are, man. This is amazing. Look at this. Look at this. Give yourselves a hand right now for being here. This is awesome. So they've asked me today to help you double your income in the next 90 days. Is that okay? Is that okay with anybody? All right. So get some stuff to write down, you know, some notes, and we're going to talk about policy reviews. Now, policy reviews, I'm going to tell you how you can do this as an established agent, but also if you're brand new, if you just got your license, I'm going to help you so that you can start reviewing policies for your friends, family members, so that you can get up and running as soon as possible reviewing people's policies. Because we've been able to use our book of business, and you know, the ARC is just such an amazing tool to be able to do this. So I'm going to teach you both. Again, if you're an established agent, the first thing you need to do is you go to the ARC, right? You sign in and then go to My Business, and under the My Business tab, you're going to find the Today tab. In the Today tab, you're going to find a lot of things like, you know, clients' birthdays, and you're going to find conversion opportunities, a lot of different things that are there for you to be able to call your clients. So every day, if you already have a book of business, go through the Today tab and see what opportunities you have, because right away you can start running appointments. You can start booking appointments as soon as you get up every single day by using this tool. This is an amazing tool, and nobody else in the country has something like the ARC. So as soon as you do that, the next thing you're going to do is you're going to click on your client tab, and you're going to go through all of your clients. And we started doing this 2019, and that's when we started, you know, running maybe 30, 40 appointments a week with our existing clients. So I'm going to tell you that if you have a lead system, make sure that you are using your leads, getting everything resolved. Make sure you're running 4 days a week, and then on the 5th day, you can run current client appointments, because you got to continue to feed the machine. You got to keep using your leads so that, yes, you're talking to brand new people every week, and then 1 day a week, you can run your current client appointments. So this is our basic phone script when we are calling our clients, you know, to book appointments. And very, very simple. Hey, John, this is Marvin, your life insurance agent with AIG, and I was just giving you a call because it's time for your required policy review. So when you say required, it doesn't make it optional for the client. It's not like, yeah, I don't need anything right now. I don't think I need a policy review, but you say required, so that changes everything. And I can tell you that this works because I remember when Shayla was like 14, she was making these phone calls for me, and she was booking like 20 appointments a day saying required policy reviews. And then just, you know, we'll need about 15 minutes to go over the benefits and updates. And then you give them two options. I give them a morning and an afternoon option, but I had my calendar right in front of me. That way, in case they said, well, I can't do it at 10, but I can be there at 10:45. And I'll be like, well, I'll see, I'll try to move some stuff around. I can't guarantee anything, but, I'll try to be there by 10:45. And so if you start doing that with your existing clients, I'm going to back up a little bit and talk to those of you that just got their insurance license, those of you that are brand new and you're like, I don't even have any clients in the ARC. It's very, very simple. You call everybody on your phone, everybody, in your list of contacts on Facebook, any social media, and you go, hey, what's up, right? Because you're just going to say hello. And then you're going to say, I just started working with this insurance company, and hey, I'm sure you have something in place already, but I just need about 10 minutes to show you what I do. And if nothing else, it'll help me practice. So when you say, I just need 10 minutes, you make it short, so, right, they're going to drop their guard. But the main thing is to say, I'm sure you have something in place already. It's better if they do, because that way you can help review the policy, and I'm going to help you today so that you can review their policy with them. Because if you don't say that, at the very end, they're going to say, well, you know what? I have something already. So it'd be kind of weird if they said that after you said, I'm sure you have something in place, right? You'd be like, wait, what happened? So just say, I'm sure you have something in place already, but I just want to take some time to go over what you have, and at least you'll help me practice. And everybody wants to help somebody else. So if you say you're going to help me practice, then they're going to feel good, like, oh, I'm helping my friend or my cousin or whoever, right? So that's for the brand new agents. So for the existing agents, after you book your appointment, one of the things that we were doing with Rachel initially is after booking every single appointment, we'd either call the carrier, but now we have access directly from the ARC to every single carrier, where you can go in, you can click on that specific policy number, and you can print what's called a policy statement. The policy statement is very powerful because it's like a lead, right? You're going to come into the home with a policy statement from Foresters or Mutual of Omaha, and that's going to give you the ability to share information, but then at the same time, it'll allow you to help them increase their insurance or convert from a term policy to a permanent policy, or increase the final expense amount, and of course, add some additional products. So make sure that you're printing the policy statement. You could do that with every carrier. Every single carrier allows you to do that. And if not, you can take screenshots and just print it out, but make sure you have that with you. And then the next thing we're gonna do is when we sit down with the clients, we're gonna take some time to review the why. Because, I'm not telling you you have to wait a year before you do your policy reviews. Maybe you wrote a policy 3 months ago or 6 months ago, right? Because maybe you haven't been with the company for that long. And that's why the phone script says it's time for your required policy review. It doesn't say policy or annual review. It doesn't say that. It says policy review. So you don't have to wait a full 12 months to review their policy. Why? Because maybe when you first started, you were brand new and you just wanted to make sure you helped the client, then you got out of there, you forgot to get ERSs, you forgot the green sheet, right? Like, I don't know, it happened to me a couple times. I don't know if that's happened to anybody. But you forgot, and now you can go back and really take the time to get all their information and to make sure you help their network as well, their friends and family. So again, these are people we know. So you're going to talk about the reasons why they got the coverage. And you say, is that still a concern to you? Protecting your mortgage. Have you changed lenders? You can talk to people about certain benefits. Like, for example, have you heard of the bi-monthly payment program with your lender? Just things that can spark the interest as far as like, okay, yeah, I remember this person was here to help me. And so they're a good advisor, so they start trusting you more. right? So we talk about the why. We build the why again, just like if we were there for the very first time. We're taking notes. Now we're listening, because a lot of you guys that saw some of those paychecks, some of those numbers up in the arc, right, for Bell and for Megan, now we're listening for annuity money. We've been talking to a lot of our team members, and they're starting to find annuity money, where before you would think like, okay, well, if they have $100,000, I can talk to them about an annuity. No, now we're finding $20,000 here, $30,000 there, because we got our ears and our eyes open, right? So you start to ask those questions, and you start to complete the green sheet one more time. Even if you did it before, that's fine. Do it again, because what we're doing is we're providing a service. We're getting enough information, just like a good doctor. You get enough information from the patient to be able to see, if there's something you can help them with. Step number 2 is after we review the policy, we go, okay, so Stephanie, this is your policy number, and so you and John, both wanted a policy for yourselves, and so this is the face amount for each one, and the premium amount, beneficiaries, current values, if they have an IUL or if they have a smart UL, you go over the values of the policy or the cash value. It's always good to carry beneficiary forms with you as well for that particular company, because a lot of people want to update your beneficiaries. So first of all, again, you're adding value to the client. You're reassuring the client that they made a good decision and that you're there to help them, right? So just more trust. That second appointment is just so important. So then we move on to the third step. You want to edify the insurance company. Even if it's, let's just say, your cousin and they have a policy with another company, just say, oh, okay, that's good. That's a good insurance company. I'm sure it is. But then once you start going over the coverage, I'm sure you're going to find some things that you can improve, that you can help them improve. So you go over, any riders that they have with the policy, and just let the client know that they made the right decision. I'm glad you took the time to protect your family. I'm glad that your family's not going to have this burden when the time comes, right? Then step number 4, if they have a term policy, whether they bought the insurance policy from you or they have an insurance policy with somebody else like, MetLife or any other company, I use the word temporary coverage like 4 times while I'm talking about. So you have $105,000 of temporary coverage. And you want to make sure that this temporary coverage pays off the mortgage. So little by little, I'm making them uncomfortable. Sorry, but that's what happens. Because I keep using the word temporary. So it's something that's not stable, right? Something that doesn't last very long. So most people don't like the word temporary when it comes to protecting their families. And so at some point they're going to ask me, well, why is this temporary? Or how can we change this temporary thing that you're talking about? And that opens the door for us to be able to talk about an IUL or a conversion where you can convert the policy. Some of the carriers, for example, I know with Mutual of Omaha, if you wrote a policy, a term policy, and it was signed after January 1st of 2015, and if it's any kind of term Life Express or any other term product, you can convert it right away to one of the IUL Express products or one of the permanent products. No questions asked. It's very, very simple. And it's like a 2-day process, so it doesn't take very long. So converting from term to permanent is very, very important. Or, if one of those companies that we worked with, if they're not selling insurance anymore, then you take that book of term insurance and then you convert it into some type of permanent coverage. Okay, so One of the things before I go into final expense is I show the value of permanent coverage. And it's very, very simple. On the back of the policy statement, what I'll do is I'll draw a rectangle, right? I'll make it very simple, and I'll tell people, you know, I'm a visual guy, and I understand better if somebody is going to draw me a picture. So in order for me to explain it to you, I have to draw a picture. Is that okay? And they usually laugh, or I'll say, you know, I'll pull out my crayons because I feel more comfortable that way. And and that's what they do. So then inside the rectangle, I just draw a line, just a straight line, and I'll say, this is what permanent coverage looks like. This is what your premium looks like. And I just draw a straight line, you know, right through the rectangle. And then I draw another line going up, and I'll say, these are the dividends that you start getting paid after the first 2 years. And they start to grow, and after a while, you can use this money. So this is what permanent coverage looks like. But the best thing is that you don't have to worry about your premiums going up. And that's why we said temporary in the beginning. And if they have their policy with them, that's great, because when you open it up to page number 3 of the policy, you're going to see the schedule of premiums. And any term insurance policy is going to show you the schedule of premiums, and you're going to be able to show the client, okay, after year 15, this is going to go from $59 a month to $701 a month. Right, and when they do that, and they go, well, they say other things too, but you go, I know, right? Yeah, that's way too high. That's crazy. Then I go, so if we convert this to permanent coverage, it's going to cost you $198 a month. So now $198 doesn't seem as bad when they were looking at an increase of about $500 to $600. And then you show them the schedule of premiums, and every year after that, it continues to go up. Some of those policies, you know, people end up paying about $1,000 a month. It's just insane. And so what I love is that if they have an existing policy, like let's just say you just got your license and you sit down with your cousin Joe and you open up their contract and you show them that, they go, nobody explained this to me. The guy just had me sign a paper, and he ran out the door, and the door was locked, and he jumped out of the window, and he just kept running for no reason. I don't know what happened. Maybe he had an emergency, and I never saw him again. And so somebody's like, so when I show them that, they go, this is a problem. Remember, we're there to uncover problems and then to present a solution. And if they don't have their policy with them, if they don't have their existing policy, you can call the insurance carrier. You can call, you know, State Farm or whoever they have their contract with and ask those questions. And just say, hey, what type of policy is this? They'll say, well, it's a 15-year term policy. Okay, so 15 years, so in 2 years, their premium is going to change, correct? So you have them on speaker because you want the client to be listening. And then you say, okay, so on your screen, because I know you can see the increase, how much is that going to go up to? And they'll probably say, like, you know, $300-400. So I let the client hear that conversation because that's coming directly from their insurance carrier, right? If it's, you know, XYZ company, I want them to hear it. Then we hang up the phone and we start finding a solution. So that's how we help our clients go from term to permanent. And then when I talk about their final expense policy, I go, Jonathan, so your basic coverage or your $5,000 basic coverage or your basic insurance policy, and I just keep using the word basic because what I'm going to do is, I know, right? We don't like basic. We want the gold. We want the platinum, right? Yeah, exactly. And so this is, of course, with illustrations and stuff like that. The second bullet point is that if it's a final expense, then I'll say, you know what, I'm going to show you a couple more options. The second one is the silver, and then the third one is the gold, or whatever you want to call it. But I'll talk to them about increasing from $5,000 to maybe $10,000 or $20,000. So I'll give them two more options, because we were always talking about basic. And because I said basic like 4 or 5 times, when I say, well, okay, so you think this basic coverage is going to be enough? Is it going to be enough for you guys? I'll be like, no, I don't know why, but no. I say, I know. So then we start talking about increasing their coverage and helping them out. So it's a very natural progression. So you're not, selling or pushing people. All you're doing is you're just uncovering a problem, and you're helping them find a solution. Because nobody's going to come back to you and say, well, I don't know why you sold him $20,000. Now we got $15,000 extra. We paid for the funeral. So what are we going to do with the $15,000 because you sold him too much insurance? No beneficiary is going to call you and say it was too much. And if they do, that's a good thing. So that's how, we walk our clients through the process. And then, of course, after getting the coaching from Megan and Mike Morisi and other top producers, then now what we're doing is we're sitting down with our clients, or we're giving them a call and talking to them about adding these additional riders, because these are ancillary policies. So we call them, ancillary rider, whatever you want to call them. It's just something, again, it's basic. So you can add this hospital protection for $4 a month. And then this cancer protection for $11 a month. And this accidental for $7 a month. Do you want me to add all of them, or do you want to choose, or, because we don't want to keep your policy just basic. We want to. And so most people will add, 1 or 2 or all the other ancillary policies. And so once you're done, you've increased your premium maybe by $40, $50, $60 a month. And so that takes care of their life policy. And then you just make sure you go back to the ATM and you ask about their lazy money. You ask about, their 401ks, their IRAs, all the people that have money right now in high yield savings. Robbie, is it allegedly high yield savings? Well, the high yield savings accounts and the CDs, they're not renewing at the same rates anymore. People are upset. And so that's when you can find other opportunities. But if you just go back tomorrow, and while you're at the airport, you start going through your book of business and you start booking appointments for policy reviews, I guarantee you're going to be able to double your income in the next 90 days. So just go out there and do it. That's all you got to do. So Rachel, my kids and I are very grateful for this wonderful opportunity. And thank you, Jane and Andy, for everything that you guys have created with God's help. Love you guys. Take care. We'll see you later.